A warm greeting. Today is Monday, September 9th, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. In this video, I will specifically be discussing Invest 92, which is currently halfway between the Caribbean and Africa, as well as another low-pressure system located southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. Both disturbances have potential for cyclonic development in the coming days as they move towards the west-northwest. But before updating the forecast on these two areas, I wanted to mention that Tropical Storm Francine has just formed in the Gulf of Mexico. It is currently undergoing strengthening and should become a hurricane within the next 12 hours. Unfortunately, this cyclone threatens the Louisiana area, where it is expected to arrive as either a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane. If you want to know more details about this forecast, I invite you to check out a video I recently recorded on my YouTube channel. Let's now talk about Invest 92 and the zone closer to Africa. As of 8 p.m., the National Hurricane Center reduced the development chances of Invest 92 to 40%, while increasing the chances of the next low-pressure system to 70%. Throughout the day, we've seen the development chances for the first disturbance continue to decrease, while the chances for the second area have been steadily increasing. Looking at the infrared satellite image, you can see that Invest 92 has basically lost all its cloudiness and thunderstorms, making it very weak at the moment, and its window for development will be during the next 48 hours. If it doesn't develop new thunderstorm areas soon, it will be difficult for it to become a tropical depression. However, the National Hurricane Center still projects a medium probability of seeing the development of a tropical depression, although, fortunately, this system seems likely to remain weak and may dissipate as it moves across the tropical Atlantic. This is mainly due to the dry and stable air present to the northwest of the circulation. We can see this in the following water vapor satellite animation, where these red colors represent dry air interfering with the development of Invest 92. Although conditions are currently marginally favorable for development, as it moves towards the west-northwest, it will encounter more dry and stable air that should limit its development. This is excellent news for the Eastern Caribbean, as it seems that Invest 92 will not pose a threat to the region. However, once again, we see how another disturbance in the tropical Atlantic struggles to develop into a tropical cyclone, even though we are currently at the peak of the hurricane season. Nevertheless, during the peak of the season, it's important to keep monitoring its evolution. Although it doesn't currently pose a risk to the Caribbean, the outlook is a bit different for the next system, which has a higher chance of development. Though, in the long term, it could also face issues with interaction from the dry air located further north in the tropical Atlantic. Let's look at the latest model projections to see what to expect from both disturbances. Starting with the GFS model, you can see it continues to project that a tropical depression could form related to Invest 92, but it would be short-lived and is expected to dissipate by Thursday morning before approaching the Caribbean. Additionally, between Wednesday and Thursday, it forecasts the formation of a tropical storm related to the next low-pressure system. Fortunately, it keeps this system on a track over the open waters of the Atlantic. In fact, in its latest run, the GFS model maintains it as a tropical storm, as it may also encounter dry and stable air, which would limit its intensity. As you can see in the latest GFS run, neither of the two disturbances represents a threat to the Caribbean. This is also reflected in the European model projection, which still shows a probability of a tropical depression developing with Invest 92, and eventually a tropical storm between Wednesday and Thursday related to the next disturbance. However, like the American model, it keeps it on a track over the open waters of the Atlantic without posing a threat to the Caribbean. The only difference is that the European model continues to project that it could become a hurricane when it moves through the Atlantic, but this will only happen if it manages to create a convection area and protect itself from the dry and stable air. The other models generally agree with these projections. For example, the German model shows Invest 92 dissipating as it passes just to the northeast of the Caribbean, while the second disturbance forms into a tropical storm as it gains latitude over the open waters of the Atlantic. Similarly, the UK model dissipates Invest 92 and also shows a tropical storm forming related to the next low-pressure area. There's quite a bit of consensus that Invest 92 should remain very weak and may even dissipate in the coming days, while the next low-pressure system could interact with a tropical wave and become a tropical storm by the end of this week. Confidence in this forecast is further strengthened when looking at the ensemble members of the GFS model, where nearly all of them dissipate Invest 92, and most of them show the development of the next tropical wave, though with a track towards the north over the open waters of the Atlantic. The same can be seen in the ensemble projections of the European model. Well, that's all for this forecast update. Once again, in the Caribbean, we shouldn't be worried about these two systems, although we will always stay alert for any changes that may occur. For now, the outlook seems quite favorable. Please continue tuning into Hurricane Info to stay informed about future Hurricane Francine, and we will continue to follow the evolution of these two disturbances in the tropical Atlantic. To make sure you don't miss any of our content on Hurricane Info, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Go to the bottom of the video, click the red button that says subscribe, and then click the bell so you receive notifications when I upload new videos. Well, that's all for now. Tomorrow morning, I will record a video to discuss the area we're monitoring in the Western Pacific, which could threaten the northwestern region of Mexico. See you later.